Hello everyone, welcome to Tek Talk in KROOM. My name is Patrick Ding and I'm your host. With me in the studio is my co-host, Mr. VJ. VJ is the CEO of Vipa Malaysia, a technology activator headquartered in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, USA. Also joining us tonight is our Dr. Ahmad Moradi, who is our Chief Science Officer, who is joining us live from Florida, USA. So Vijay, tonight we are talking about premium room in KROOM.
Yes.
So would you share with us what are the unique features of this premium KROOM?
There are many unique features in the room, especially in the premium room, right? And we are going to actually have a video that is going to be playing, elaborating on the key features. But most importantly, what you have now is where in these K rooms, where you don't have in any other rooms or any other services provided, where you've got a left-hand side bar, you've got a right-hand side bar, you've got a header bar, and you can now embed. And importantly, it's a clean room, where the room now comes to you as a personalized space away from the noise of the internet. So the users now are able to protect themselves in the rooms by communicating in a very private and secured manner. And you also now can bring in the social media, you can collaborate, you've got a private text chat, you've got ChatGPT in the room, you can bring in your payment gateway, your e-commerce, and you can embed your embeddables on the left-hand side of the room, the widgets, PowerPoint presentation in the background. You can play high definition audio and video in the rooms in the background. You can stream in real time. The features, we've actually got more than 99 features in the room. And in order not to overwhelm the subscribers, we have now provided an area where you can go in and choose how you want to decorate the room. That means this becomes your own private and personalized space where you can come in and do what you need to be done away from the noise of the internet. So the premium room now serves as their own private space where they can use it now to do their own broadcast, collaboration, and communication needs. And probably Dr. Moradi would want to add on to that feature. Back to you, sir.
Well, thank you for having me, first of all, and it's a pleasure to be with all of you today. Today, as my dear esteemed colleague Patrick mentioned, the key important thing for us is to continue with our ICE protocol of informing, communicating, and educating our audience. Not so much about the premium room, about the application and the use and the experience that the premium room can bring for you. So with that, rather than overwhelming the consumers and our viewers, what we have done is we created a pre-recorded session where we are going to share with you and give you a glimpse of what it can be done. And then the general idea is once that video has been presented, over the course of the time, we set up different educational webinars and programs. We will be teaching you also how you can do a variety of services and integrations inside your own premium rooms. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the video that is being featured about the premium presentation.
Hello everyone, good evening, good morning, welcome to Tek Talk. We continue our show here, and this is part 2, whereby we will be showcasing a KROOM user experience and for users to feel and immerse themselves in this experience. Dr. Moradi, our Chief Science Officer, will be taking you through the journey. Over to you, Dr. Moradi.
Thank you. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you, everyone, for having us. It's a pleasure to be with you all. One of our core objectives is always to inform, communicate, educate, and sometimes entertain. So we just try to be as casual but yet formal to provide the information that we feel is important in the Tek Talk shows. So remember, Tek Talk shows are designed to be very educational, sit back, talking about the application and use of technologies, but more importantly, how these technologies are going to be transforming your lives, how you're going to apply those into creating a better, productive person for yourself, for your environment, for the people that you work with or you associate with, but in your own setting and privacy where it's non-intrusive. So that means it's not like the Facebooks of the systems or the other social media. KROOM is designed to provide you with the privacy and the security in mind, that it's the bedrock of the foundation of the technologies. More importantly, one of the things that it was very important to understand is, again, by sharing my screen with you to give you a little viewpoint, is to learn and know that we ultimately have the following goals in mind, that we have built the ICDN from the part one that we shared with you into a hybrid multi-cloud automation system. So that is why it is designed to provide interactive over the top. An example of that is one of the things that we have done for the European Broadcasting Union, connecting the TV networks into a virtual media center for the journalists from the time that COVID took place, okay, until today as we speak. So the technology that we are about to share with you and bring that into a KROOM that you're seeing in here are really designed to first educate you and invite you first to participate and register for a premium account. That is going to give you most of the capabilities within the system and is going to allow you up to 8 video like we have in here to be incorporated, and then you can use those as publishers for your broadcasting, as well as doing a variety of private sessions, screen share, and creating an environment for yourself that it can become more conducive than average video conferencing services that you use. So if you want to look at those kind of comparable, there are value proposition. But the KROOM is more than just a video call. We want you to know that. So that is one of the reasons that we are going to walk you through a little bit of an experience from the time that we are going to be publishing, because when it's published and it becomes available, then that is the time that you will truly enjoy. So in the beginning of the session, we obviously, again, like to remind you to register with a premium account and try to take advantage of the services that is coming to you with a lot of value proposition that you will see over the course of time as Tek Talk shows start broadcasting those content. But more importantly, it's important to also learn from you, our valued audience, viewers, readers, that what do you like to see? Subjects from artificial intelligence to robotics to integrations to video streaming to entertainment to genres that may be of interest to you, like sports or movies and education, telehealth, etc. They all can become the subject inside Tek Talk. And we encourage you to participate with us and help us out to make this in a more proactive way, that it becomes a community-based environment. So our goal is these rooms to be customized and tailored to your needs. So with that in mind, the K-Media, when it gets announced, you will have a room number. You can simply invite people to come in there and type in the room number that you share with them as a user experience. And by pressing the enter, the system will ask them for their name and their email, and that's all. And then ask permission for their webcam and for their microphone. And if they grant permission, they arrive inside the room like you see us right now. More importantly, if you go back into trying to receive, once we have signed up, after you've signed up in here, there will be a grace period. And after this grace period, you will be receiving some email and updates and information that we're going to keep you informed. And during this process, once this becomes available to you, then you will receive what we call an activation code key. With this activation code key, you will simply click here and you will paste that code in there. You will put your name as a username that you prefer to be entered or be recognized by the system. you will place your email account and you set your password and the country that you're coming from and verify that you're not a robot, and then you register. And once you have done so, a room automatically gets created for you, like the room that you're seeing in 1898. So let's talk about room 1898 right now, because this is interesting and also it gives you some understanding of how things work. I'm going to be moving my mouse around the room, so every time I move it around, then we will highlight certain features inside the room that can help you understand how initial phase of KROOM will be presented to you. Inside this room, there is a sidebar on the left, there is a bar on the top, as you can see, and there is another sidebar on the right hand side. A series of features and functions that it's important to understand and see. For example, if I wanted to click on the backdrop I can read the newspaper in here. Okay, I can go here, I can download, I can look at the Sarawak, I can look at Nation, I can look at everything else in here as if I was reading the newspaper. So there is nothing different on that. And then when I click in here and I go scroll down, you see that I'm just accessing everything. And when I need to come back to a regular mode, I just click on the double arrow and I'm back to the mode that I was. So this is the backdrop. That first thing, newspaper, always your default favorite paper will be available to you just by clicking a double arrow. So when you click that double arrow in here again, just to point it out to you, show background, then the paper is available for your viewing pleasure. Next, there will be a positioning that sometimes we like to have as a convenience for ourselves. For example, I like to rearrange my video, so I can put my video in another location, or I can put it on the top, or I can put it on the left, or I can put it in the bottom, or I can place it at the center as I was doing originally. So that placeholder allows people that they are used to left, right, up, down, arrange their own peer experience based on their own viewing experience. Next is ability to make adjustment by your cameras, your microphones, and so forth. So by selecting, if you have multiple devices, you can simply pick and choose. Please be informed that these devices must be recognized by your browser. If they are not recognized, then that means a driver is missing and you need to contact the publishers so they can provide you with that, and then you can make adjustment with your browser and camera. And when you do that and you say change, the system automatically goes and makes the changes for you and uses your camera. In many cases, we have multiple cameras, multiple point of views, multiple streamings, and that is one of the reasons that we have made that capability available inside the rooms. Next is the ability to send friends or share link, and you have the capability of utilizing obviously the QR that you can take a screenshot and share it with friends, or more importantly, you can copy the link and send it through your favorite chat and messaging system that you use with your colleagues, or you can send an email, or you can connect it to the LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter. So that is available at this moment. And then in here, as you can see, if you have technical difficulty with connectivity, with bandwidth, or you are not receiving, the best thing to do is just refresh your page. And when you do that, it automatically reconnects everything with ground zero and with a new set of what we call IP addresses that you receive from your service provider. Now, here, there are a series of buttons available that first makes it very attractive for the users. For example, we can look at this button in here and see that we can increase the size of the viewing by just looking at it in a different way. It defaults to the small size, but I can make it larger. So therefore, if I am moving my video in here on the sidebar, right, I can pay attention and read the content in here. Very simple. And I can again scroll down. I can go to the menus. I can pick up what I want. Or if I don't want it and I go to another paper, I can do the same thing that I like to do, okay, and then make that available to myself. So people that read Siha, they can choose that option. People that they can read daily, they can choose that option. Or they are going to Ulsan Borno, then they can choose the same option. So we can make that room and this capability for all of the viewers and readers available in the privacy of their room. But what is fun about it is thinking about the fact that now you have the ability to invite a friend and share a link with them inside this room to discuss some of the topics, the politics, the events that it matters to you. And you want opinion, you want to get feedback, but in your own room privacy. You don't want to get intrusion with different ratings and opinions and feedbacks and so forth. You just want honestly to share in a digital media room setting called KROOM the amenities that the publisher has taken years to go undertaking this and bringing it to you. So with that in mind, we want you to be aware of that. And the same thing with Borneo Post, because already it's defaulted in the background, and also, accessing to the TFM and the radio in here again, and the content that is available to you, then you can listen and get updates and so forth. And be sure to know that in the future there will be new buttons added in here, and every one of these buttons are going to provide you with the new capability, new services. So this is one important feature that we wanted you to know. The other thing that we wanted you to know is you can, with your premium account, you can privatize your room, and the KROOM becomes your branded room. And along with the KROOM, that you can set up your own privacy and you can create what we call to action. There are 4 buttons in here that you can build in your premium room. And in a standard room, as you can see, it's available. So if you want to go read the e-paper, you just click on it. If you need help, you just click on it. And when you want to go look at last week's reports, you can look at it this way. And then publishers ultimately, again, add or update this information for you on a continual basis inside of these rooms without bothering you. So therefore, the convenience will be available. Now, there are other things in the room that it gives you a nice capability. As the owner of the room, you will know the guests. They know what city, what town they're coming from. You have capabilities that if you do not wish to have them, you can kick them out. Or if you have multiple rooms, you can redirect them electronically from one room to another. Or you can refresh them, okay, depending on technical difficulty they have. You can remotely reset them, so therefore they can get a refresh signal and they can come back to you. Then the audience that it's in here, as you can see, they can have their own avatar. Avatars can be animated GIF or JPEG or PNG file and so forth that allows you to create identity. If you wish to, as the owner of the room, to refresh the entire room for everybody, you can do that. You can also close your session so everybody can leave if you wish. Or like I said, if you are having a watch party and you want everybody to arrive here and now moving them to another venue, can be done. So with that, now you have also what we call chat capability, and you have file transfer capabilities. So if you're sharing with your colleagues in here a contract or a proposal or any content, a media kit, it can be easily uploaded from here, shared with the colleagues. Colleagues can download it and enjoy. We can also do something interesting. And by the way, these buttons are all on and off. So when you click on them, they just come off. And when you click on them, they come on. So just to let you know, all of them is click on, click off. Here, where we are going to be featuring the live streaming that is going to come in from the studio. So you will see that happening as we are speaking, the same way that right now we are doing through a rehearsal that you see it's been experienced. And more importantly, when we come here to this real setting and the rooms, then the users that they have ability, they can also look at our information, look at the things that we are talking about, and get ideas about how you could use this kind of settings inside KROOMs to provide services for your own constituents. This is part of this educational process that we are actually using our own platforms, technologies, know-how, experiences to create this experience for you and showing you at the same time inside our room the experiences that you will have without really violating your privacy. So again, by clicking on the switch, you can make it go away. Our screen shares are very simple. You install a little module with your permission and it allows you to do screen share between your colleagues. You can connect that to your Facebook and Twitter accounts, as you can see here. Okay. And then obviously you can connect to your WhatsApp. And optionally in the future, we will be adding ChatGPT AI with the permission of the authorities and so forth inside here, inside the rooms for you. So now you begin to start experiencing regenerative AI. We are going to provide you with AI possibilities. We're going to bring you AI courses, educational programs that we think that is going to be very helpful to understand how you could apply the use of this kind of technologies inside of your own working environment. And even by sharing your own experience with us, we can help you. And that is one of the reasons that we are bringing these presentations to you, because we want you to expand the possibility in your mind and understand that our goal and objective is to be able to serve the way that we are working and helping while we are accommodating a variety of services that can be useful for your day-to-day activity. But if you have ideas or you wish to share those input with us, I welcome it, because with that we can technically put everything into motion and help you to apply our know-how with your experiences and creating a new KROOM experience that otherwise would have never existed. So your participation in this journey is a welcome opportunity, actually, because we don't think without you we can make that happen. Without your experiences in the real-time situations where communication, collaboration can help you inside the rooms. And our goal is also to not to be intrusive, not to bombard you like with the online banners and advertisings and so forth and so on, but rather respecting your privacy, where these rooms can be subscribed and it can be used and provided a way that the community can come together. So ultimately, as we have these rooms built and the larger population gets together, now we have a way of reaching out to each other, interacting, and giving each other permissions to broadcast, collaborate, and communicate and learn from each other. And after all, this is the journey that we are taking in this planet together. And with that in mind, I want to thank you for having me and thank you for your participation. Ciao.
Now, Doctor, you have gave these examples of what kind of user are suitable to use this premium KROOM. But now I want to ask you, how will KROOM benefit the advertisers and brand loyalty?
Thank you for asking. That's a very viable question, actually, which requires its own dedicated session. But we can highlight a little overview by looking at some of the presentation and the slides that we can share here. Advertisers are looking for ways to reduce all the noise from the third parties and be able to encourage their buyers to do one simple thing: listen to the message and take an action, whatever the action for that advertisers may be, all the way to the purchase. So in that kind of a context, I think advertisers will benefit greatly from the use of KROOM. Let's show a little slide in here so we can take a look at a couple of examples. First of all, real-time advertising becomes interactive because now we have several elements in here, and more importantly, creates a mission for us that we can turn the customers into brand ambassadors. Next. The main important thing is, well, what is the value for the advertiser is the eyeball, like we have right now in this room, right? Without it, we don't have presence. Then we have, obviously, presence of KROOM, and more importantly, the time that we are spending with the brand. So therefore, with the content that the brand supplies, it allows us to create a full 360 experience. And into the next slide. But more importantly, most advertisers are looking for one key performance indicator. But today's market, with the fourth industrial revolution and with the post-cookies era, everything has changed into keeping people informed, keeping people involved, keeping people interested and inspired. So the rooms that we have provided or you're providing through KROOM is really designed to meet those objectives. But its underlying goal is been to allow people to read, watch, and meet. Next. And then some of these examples that I want to share as a highlight is some of our past work that we've done for different brands, like Nestle, with the Dulce Gusta coffee in Mexico. Next, Bubble Gummers, for example, was a project that we did in Eastern Europe for the children and creating interactive experiences. And again, next, so the room becomes very customized. That's the most thing. But more importantly, through the advertising that KROOM provides, it gives several variables that it gives assurance for a trusted source of advertising, guaranteed eyeball, guaranteed time spent, and guaranteed content that is supplied by the advertisers. Next. So the goal is it becomes the room, the KROOM becomes the sponsor's ad room. It becomes sponsors advertising and content and brand, and everything becomes customized to that setting. Next. Example of that was launching a brand, for example, from New York for a client and a project for fashion and for cosmetic. Next, just to show you some highlights. But interactive branded KROOM gives the ability for the collaboration, making the brand ambassador also to become a broadcaster, become an influencer. And some of these ideas that we have through this starts with the loyalty of the customers that already purchasing the brand, goods and services. Next. This is an example of a project we did for a Japanese organization that they were sponsoring New York Fashion Week. For instance, live streaming events can be sponsored through the KROOMs, and participants, not only from one room, but thousands, hundreds, tens of thousands, millions of rooms can be viewing this. At the same time, with the privacy of their own room, controlled and protected by the content and its brand. Next. Another example is obviously we have been historically bringing the know-how and the expertise to the what we call alcoholic and to beer and to the tobacco industry. We help them out with their branding. I have done that for over 24 years of this service. So these values are going to provide a very unique niche market for our advertisers that they have restrictions in their own advertising, but through DCR or D2C, direct to consumers, through Data Clean Room by KROOM, have the ability to provide a variety of services that we can talk about. Next. Also, there is example of what we did for one of the Marriott chains on KROOM, where we built interactive loyalty gift cards that people would give away as guests would sign up. Next. So the general idea for us is really help with our services through the KROOM, the advertisers and brands, to enhance and increase their awareness, put the content that they feel is important to their own audience, and let their audience be acceptable based upon the way that they trust their own brand. And that trusted relationship shifts the paradox of advertising with permission-based, guaranteed eyeball, guaranteed content, and guaranteed time. Back to you, Patrick.
Thank you for your wonderful explanation, Doctor. Now,
Thank you.
as a SME, a small medium enterprise, we do a lot of online payment. And can we have a peace of mind with KROOM?
Yes, actually, one of the key fundamental factor that everybody wanted to establish was, I don't want to be scammed. I don't want to be worried about it. I don't want to have to stress myself that, another website replicated me and made me like a lookalike and they're stealing my IDs and so forth, because it has become really a wild, wild, wild world in www. And as we are moving to the Web 3.0, we are trying to learn from our own past experiences of Web 1.0, Web 2.0 to move to the Web 3.0. So payment integration has become an inherited part of e-commerce. Broadcasting collaboration has become part of KROOM. So to give you that assurance, yes, it can connect to different technologies, to different payment gateway systems, and accommodate a secure transaction from this room. Back to you.
One last question. Can KROOM be hacked?
Well, that's a very good question. Anything can be hacked by human if it is man-made, but the challenge is always to stay one step ahead of competition. I had a professor one day, he taught me, he says, you know what the definition of an expert is? And at the classroom, nobody knew the answer. And we turned around and looked at each other, and he says, the one who reads one chapter ahead of the others is the expert, right? In data security, you always have to be ahead of the bad actors and the bad guys, because they try to harness that knowledge and use it for their benefit. So we are always proactive. And 43 years of experience in this area, where I have spent in my career helping other organizations to ensure that their data is sacred and it's private and it's secure, is something that I value and treasure. And I'm happy to add that value into KROOM so people can feel secure when they come to perform a variety of services and transactions. But more importantly, one thing that has to start, Patrick, is with the fact of we collectively have to work together. Our audiences, our advertisers, our government, our bureaucracies, and so forth, because we have to protect the citizens. And that is the most important part of a relationship that KROOM can bring into the formation. Back to you.
Okay, wonderful. So to our audience, we are coming to the ending of our today's session. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Remember to tune in to our next session, which is on next Thursday, August 24th at 8 p.m. Also, the topic will be KROOM integration with AI multi-language service. And we will invite another guest speaker who will be Dr. Francis Teo, who is the inspiring enterprise architect from China. We promise you that it will be an exciting session on next Thursday. So you can join our session via our social media channels or click on to our live stream video event link. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please continue to post your questions on our social media channels of Facebook and IG, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Until then, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep spreading the positivity. And I will see you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Greeting. Have a good one, everyone. Ciao.
Have a good one.